Hey everyone, welcome back to the Not Just Politics podcast. The following is a conversation with Jeremiah Cutright, Clare Ashcraft, and Caitlyn Scott. Jeremiah Cutright is a climate activist, the author of The Energy Predicament, and the president of the Bridge USA chapter at the University of Pittsburgh. Clare Ashcraft is the Bridging and Bias Assistant for All Sides, as well as the president of the Bridge USA chapter at Capital University. Caitlyn Scott is the Vice President of Outreach for the Bridge USA chapter at Point Park University and a senior studying journalism and political science at Point Park. We all sat down for this crazy, super fun episode talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I really don't even remember what all is in here, but I know I had a lot of fun. Just big shout out to Bridge USA for giving us all this amazing community and giving us all the chance to meet each other, and we all came together, and it's been a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. Yay, we're here.
Woo!
We made it. Yay.
Football.
Football?
I don't know.
No one here watches. Does anyone here watch football?
No.
I don't watch football. I was in my sports podcasting class, and people told me I was a loser for not watching the Super Bowl.
I think I've watched the Puppy Bowl more times than the
That's
Super Bowl.
fire. That's awesome. That would be great. All right, let's talk about Jesus being liberal.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about this. Wait, who had the shirt? Your professor had the shirt?
Yeah.
Wait, explain the story. Tell us.
Okay, so I was doing a Bridge USA panel, and we were doing it on Christianity in U.S. politics. So I invited professors from different departments, and this is my philosophy professor that wore his Jesus is a liberal shirt just for the panel.
Fire, dude.
The thing that I love about it is that he had the shirt already.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
on hand,
Like, he was
you know?
prepared.
Yeah.
He was
He was
ready.
there.
He's waiting for his moment to shine, and he shined that day.
Yes, absolutely.
Jesus would definitely be a liberal, though. You know, I mean, convince me I'm wrong.
I don't know enough biblical stuff to
don't
prove you wrong.
I don't either.
Honestly, same.
Would he though?
I think so.
Or would Jesus be like a huge Bridge USA guy being like, no, we should not, like he wouldn't pick a side because these are all my children type
maybe
thing.
that? But here's my
Maybe he's a
perspective, right?
based like centrist guy, something like that.
Jesus is all about loving everyone, right? And I think he would care much less about like one nation for that reason,
Right.
right? Like most conservatives today are very like more nationalistic. So
Sure.
for that reason, I think he would be more liberal. He'd be a globalist.
Yeah, that tracks.
Jesus is the globalist that posts the meme to his Instagram that's like, I support the right of a gay couple to protect their weed with guns. And it's like the two like Fallout guys with their like weed in one hand,
Yeah.
gun in the other. Like, he would have that on his that'd be in like his profile picture
Yeah,
on
that'd be
Instagram. Maybe he would be a globalist. I don't know. That's a hilarious shirt to have.
I'm not sure how he would feel about the legalization of drugs, though. You know, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think he'd be on one of the extremes, though. I'll say that. You know, like if it brings you closer to God on one hand, he may be for that. You know, it takes a heroic dose of mushrooms sometimes. He might like that.
He'd be like, "Wow, I'm home."
Yeah,
He's on his
exactly.
trip. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
gotta say
wild.
hi to my dad real quick.
That's
going-
his FaceTime call with his dad. I think it's ayahuasca. Like,
I'm going home for a little bit.
Yeah.
Trips balls on mushrooms for like 10 hours. Like, I went home. That's so funny.
This is a good way to start this.
That's a great way to
This is a good way to do this.
I think we're talking about the real history of Christianity at this point. I don't think we're making stuff up here.
No,
I
I
don't think
so
so either.
Yeah, there's evidence of that like the entirety of Christianity was just people tripping balls on like psychedelics.
Have you ever read The Immortality Key?
No.
Brian, I always mess up his last name, but it's like Brian Muresks or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was on Rogan a few times. That's kind of where he like advertised the book, but it's basically a book about how like he thinks that Christianity evolved from like ancient psychedelic rituals. Is the
Yeah.
whole premise of the book, and he like goes in like catacombs that have been like closed off by like the Catholic Church for like hundreds of years, and like looking for evidence of like mushrooms in the rituals that are like drawn on the walls and stuff like that. He finds some interesting stuff. You know, it's kind of crazy. Actually.
So Jesus would be a psychedelic hippie
So that's basically
in
his
the
argument.
70s.
Yeah.
So Jesus would maybe be a liberal. He'd be a
Maybe.
progressive man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could be.
Yeah, there's like progressive Catholic churches, and I've just got to know how do they kind of round out the abortion thing at a
That's true.
progressive Catholic church?
That's true. I don't know.
Like, how do they deal with that particular issue?
Do
I
you
need
think
to
they
find
just stay away from it?
maybe, but it feels like in Catholicism it's probably kind of difficult to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I drove by one of those churches and I was just like thinking that I need to talk to one of those people or talk to like the minister there and just kind of see how they feel about
Dude,
it.
have a podcast about it.
Dude, I'll invite him on over here. I need to find anyone who's listening to our millions of listeners. If anyone out there's a minister at a progressive Catholic church, come on the show. Because I need to know. 'Cause
And
I'm-
ask them
I'm
if
interested.
Jesus would be liberal.
Yeah, and that's the first question I'll ask you. That'll be like my Lex question. He asked, "What's your advice for young people?" I'll be like, "What was Jesus' political affiliation?"
Yeah,
do you
right.
think?" That'll be my question that I ask everybody. I just realized that you're not wearing your Point Park merch, and that's
I go to Pitt now.
how dare you?
I support Pitt more than I support Point Park.
Represent.
I don't blame you for that.
Sorry.
Fine, I should have worn my esports drip. I didn't.
Yeah, come on, Carson.
I had to wear my.
You
Summit.
said that I'm slacking, so are you.
But I wore my Summit merch. All right.
Yeah, that's
I wore my
better.
Summit merch.
That's better. Anything's better than Point Park merch, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can pay $70 for a champion pair of sweatpants with Point Park written down the leg, and you can spend $70 on that.
I think you should spend the next hour roasting Point Park while we are using all of their equipment to roast them.
Well, that's what I do pretty much very frequently on the show.
Carson, where should we start?
They don't say anything.
Where should
No,
we start?
honestly, you know what? Point Park's not that bad. This place is cool. This place is cool that they let us use this. This
yeah,
is cool.
the media hub is cool, but Point Park itself.
But the food's not good. That's my biggest criticism. Food's not good, and they like make you eat it your freshman year, and it's horrible for you.
Honestly, my freshman year wasn't too bad. It was okay.
But that was before COVID, wasn't it?
No, that was during COVID.
During COVID, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I was only here for a semester, so it probably progressively gotten worse as, time went on.
Yeah,
so,
it just went downhill.
yeah.
That's all right. Well, we should probably stop talking about roast in Point Park because they
Yeah.
might actually they're not listening to this. They're not listening to this at all. There's no way they're listening. What do we got here? Huh? No. Yes.
That's a good one.
I love the Vine like bass drum. Yes.
Jesus.
It just keeps going.
I can literally hear
yeah.
it through here without even.
What is that, like half a minute long? What is this one? Yes! The Among Us sound effect. Oh, that's
Among Us.
glorious. That's awesome. Now we're really set.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. That's
I do
so
agree
good.
with what you said earlier, though. The Minecraft chugging sound would be a good one.
Yeah, we need the Minecraft drinking noise.
Yeah, that would be.
Anytime we take a drink, I'll just play it. And that will be, I think that would be funny.
I think that would be good.
Oh man, what are we going to talk about? We had so many ideas. I had notes.
Yeah, we
I
did.
did
have
write notes that one time of things that you wanted to talk about.
I don't know. Carson has notes.
Yeah,
That's
I had
scary.
made notes.
Carson always has notes,
I do. I have a lot of notes.
but that's okay. That's
I do.
that's his job for this right now.
Yeah.
I think
It's
right?
just to have notes.
facilitate
Yeah.
the conversation.
Right, right.
Yeah. Well, Jeremiah and I were talking about like existential threats.
Yeah, we had a pretty deep.
We
conversation
did, yeah,
about
for like
other
an
things.
hour and a half. And that was kind of fun.
What was the thing we got stuck on though? There was something we wanted to bring up again.
Well, we were talking about the great filter thing
That's what
for
it
a little
was.
bit.
Yeah.
Did we get stuck on that? And then I stopped us because I was like, this is too good to,
Yeah, I think
to
we
like
stopped.
throw
it.
away right now.
Do you guys know what the great filter is?
No.
Really? That's Claire. I thought you would have known this at least, because I feel like Lex talks about the great filter sometimes.
Maybe.
Anyways, the great filter is this idea that like it's the Fermi paradox. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but the Fermi paradox was made by Enrico Fermi, who's like the famous nuclear scientist, and his observation basically was that like mathematically life should be everywhere, like we should see life in the universe like all around us, but we don't see any. So there's like a paradox here. And he proposed that there was a great filter that prevents civilizations from like progressing at some point or like surviving past some point. And the idea is like, are we in front of or behind the filter? Have we already gone past the point where everyone else fails? Is the idea. And that's where we got stuck on. And it's kind of a deep question because it's like,
Yeah, it is.
you know, is like an existential risk in front of us still, or did we already pass it? And I don't know. I think
Yeah.
we're getting close to passing it because, you know, I think by the time you have 2 planets like colonized, you're probably past the great filter at that point because you can survive so many more things. Like a nuclear war might not take out your civilization if you have 2 planets.
No.
You know, that kind of idea.
Unless we nuked Mars, too.
Unless you nuked Mars. Hey, Musk wants to do that.
He does
you
want to
know?
nuke Mars.
He does want to nuke Mars.
Yeah, and Trump wanted to like nuke a hurricane the one time.
Yeah.
You guys remember that clip? He was like, "What if we just blew it up?" As it was like roaring towards Florida, he was like, "I could just nuke it."
Funniest
like,
president,
no.
right?
Oh my god, dude! Every day this guy just cracks me up. He's a South Park character.
Oh my God, that's so true.
That's what Gavin said. Gavin's like, this guy's a walking South Park character
Yeah.
in real life. I told you. Did you watch the town hall he did with CNN? Did anyone else watch it?
I seen like certain clips of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
There were moments where I wanted the guy to shut up because he was talking about like pardoning like every January 6th rioter.
Okay.
He was like, most of them will be pardoned. But then he was talking about like he got called in because he got like accused of like sexual assault by that one reporter lady, and he just kept like trying to bring up all these little details. Like he would bring up stuff that was completely unrelated. He started talking about her pets, and he was like, apparently this woman had a cat named Vagina. He was like, she has a cat named Vagina. They wouldn't let us put that in the report, but they put everything in my report. It was like it's the most ridiculous thing ever. You don't get it.
What are the odds that he's making that up though, as well? You know,
I think it all might be made up.
I mean, it wasn't in the report, so I mean,
It wasn't in the report. It was so funny though. He was saying all this wild shit, and then people got so mad at CNN. They tried to get the president fired for having Trump on a town hall.
he's basically like the Alex Jones of presidents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex
Kind of.
Jones might be the Alex Jones of presidents. I don't even think you can like overpass him. Like
Nah.
he might just be at the top of like every category.
Of every category.
For-
like
it-
Trump
it's-
is probably like 1 or 2 steps like under him,
Right,
but he's like
right.
getting close. He's getting,
As far as like being Alex Jones goes, no one does it better than Alex Jones.
Right,
He's like
right.
he's
Right.
at the top. But Trump is close. He's real close.
Would you ever talk to Alex Jones?
Fuck yeah, I would talk to Alex
Yeah.
Jones for like a minute maybe and just
For a
kind of
minute.
see. You know, Tim Dillon did a show in his studio. He went to the InfoWars studio and they
Oh,
put like
really?
his logo on the back and they did a whole show with Alex Jones. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's quite a couple.
And also, whatever, there was the Rogan episode with Tim Dillon and Alex Jones, and Tim Dillon wore the Free Ghislaine shirt. Like the
Of course, he would wear
would
that
wear-
too. Right?
Oh my God, it was so funny, and people got so mad, and no one got that it was just a bit. And he wore that. Oh, it was so ridiculous. But yeah, no, we talked about that. We got way into the.
Yeah, we started talking about Bill Gates.
We did start.
A
We
lot
talked about
about
Bill
that.
Gates too. Yeah. This is all over the place, but that's all right.
That's okay.
So was our conversation 2 nights ago.
Well, yeah,
It was
that
very all over the place.
It was all over the place.
But yeah. What's everyone
got
been
for
up
me?
to? I don't know. I don't know. I have a bunch of notes here. Well, the one that I wanted to maybe bring up was like now we've got like Trump and DeSantis full beefing, like full-time beefing. Caitlyn, I have to ask. We're just genuinely curious. Are
Oh,
you
no.
are you like on Trump train or DeSantis train or neither?
honestly, I don't really know, to be quite
Okay.
honest, because like I don't know. That's like difficult for me to answer right now. I think like I need to see kind of what continues to happen on both of their ends until I can really determine, I feel like, where I feel like if it came down to it, who I would like choose over the other.
Gotcha. Because I do think that Trump will probably run third party if he doesn't get the nomination.
Right.
I can't imagine him being like, I'll just not run then. That's fine.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, okay. I guess I lost this one guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
that,
he's not just gonna like quit.
I don't think he can because at this point, the whole shtick of like the elections being rigged, he can't just give into that now. He has to say, oh, well, they're all rigged.
Right.
Right.
And if I feel like I'm so excited for that primary that I'll watch it because Trump and DeSantis on the same stage.
That'll be interesting.
DeSantis is going to have to be ready. Otherwise, he's going to get steamrolled.
I feel like DeSantis is going to be more controlled, though, than Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to let Trump look crazy on the stage, probably.
I feel like that's what they tried to do before, though, and it worked. For Trump, I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels like the voter base doesn't really care about like genuine policy at this point. It seems to me like they just want the culture warrior.
Yeah, right.
That's what they want.
I mean, I know a lot
That's-
of conservative guys who just want the culture war. Like that's what they're most worried about, the culture war.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I understand why they're concerned, but it's just they're like making it worse by going behind DeSantis or Trump. Like that doesn't make the culture war less.
Yeah, it's not like
prevalent.
a solution to the
No,
problem.
it's
Right.
not.
Okay,
They're gonna be beefing.
Caitlyn, like what makes you like Oz?
Hmm?
What made you like Dr. Oz compared to like Trump or DeSantis then?
Like, see, like, when you say compared to Trump and DeSantis, I don't really know. Like,
Was it just like his demeanor? Or?
like I mean, I guess like when I looked at it through like Oz and Fetterman, like when I compared it that way, I felt like Oz was more, like, frankly, I think that he was more coherent than
Yeah.
Fetterman just because of the circumstances going on with that. And too, like, I just agreed with a lot more of like the policies and stuff that he kind of aligned with, which is why I more so supported Oz. Now, I feel like compared to Trump and DeSantis, I mean, I guess right now, if I would have to, I guess, choose, I would more so, I think, go with DeSantis just because it's somebody new and fresh and like more probably like kind of like what you said, he's more controlled than Trump, but I think he'd be able to present himself a lot better
Right.
than, yeah.
And that's kind of why I like DeSantis a bit more. Although, like, I don't have any hard opinions over him. Although I really don't see myself voting for Trump at any point. But I think I was telling you this, Carsen. But I think I just have a bias towards DeSantis because he's not like 80 years old.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's pretty easy
Yeah.
to go.
We need people that are in office that are a lot more younger and that can, like, I feel like relate to us a
Yeah,
lot
for
more
sure.
than
Would you ever?
anybody else.
Would you ever vote for Nikki Haley, or what's the guy's name? Tim Scott.
Tim
He's on the Republican side,
Yeah.
right? Would you ever vote for either of them over Trump or DeSantis?
I mean, I haven't really looked into either of them really. I feel like in depth as I have with like Trump and DeSantis. So I mean, that'd be something more I think during this time I would look into. But I mean, if they have policies and stuff that align with what I believe would be beneficial, then I mean, I would consider voting for them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel good though. I feel like no matter what happens, it's not going to feel great
Yeah.
to go out there and vote for like any of these guys.
And it's going to be Biden for the Democrats, right? I
Oh
mean,
my
it has to be.
God, I hope. Well, I mean, they're gonna.
Who else is?
they're
did
gonna
they
put
say
him
who
up,
else
but-
is running for that part against Biden or?
Robert Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
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 And Marianne Williamson.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like if they want to win, they have to not run Biden. Like I feel like they have to go with someone else.
I mean, I think Biden could beat Trump if they went up again.
I don't think Trump can. I don't think Biden could beat DeSantis though.
I agree with that in the sense that, like, if it was just Biden versus DeSantis, but if it's
Yeah.
Biden v. DeSantis v. Trump, I think Biden wins.
Oh yeah. If Trump goes to run independent,
Yeah.
yeah, then Biden probably wins again.
Probably.
Because he'll just
Yeah.
split the vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. I wonder if that's gonna be wild if that happens then, because then, yeah, like there's gonna be a huge rift. I mean, there's already kind of a rift in the Republican Party, but there's gonna be even more if Trump runs third party then.
No, I mean, that would pretty much be like the end to it, though, right? I mean, that would be a huge tear that might not be so recoverable.
Yeah, that would be huge. That might actually just completely start a new third party.
Yeah.
Like Trump might just completely leave.
I mean, I've thought for a while that Trump should just start like a nationalist party or something like that. because that's how he seems to me. He's just very America first kind of agenda.
Yeah, that's the whole platform at the America First.
Right.
Like, oh, are you a America First Republican or whatever?
Right.
And that's like I don't know, is that the same as MAGA? Is that the same? Are those two things interchangeable?
I feel like they're at least connected,
Yeah.
but probably in Trump's head they're probably the same.
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, well, like people were like mad. They were like, DeSantis cannot steal the like a great American comeback line from Trump because Trump started it first. It's like the most childish thing. I don't get it.
Yeah. What was it? The Great American Comeback? Is
That's what
DeSantis said?
yeah, that's what I've seen.
It just
yeah.
seems like the generic brand version of what Trump's been saying.
Yeah. Well, Trump's been saying that though. That was Trump's line.
Right.
DeSantis just kind of like snatched it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe
And
he
then
did
they
steal it.
crashed Twitter, right? A bunch of times. And
my
Elon's
God.
leaving Twitter as
Yeah.
CEO, right? Who did he choose to replace him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He bought it. It like didn't go anywhere, and then he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
I can't fix
It's
this."
done. Is he still gonna have any affiliation with it, or is he just like fully just?
He's not selling it. I think he's just
stepping
as
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
CEO
Okay.
to let someone else run it.
He's probably gonna have a bunch of shares in it or something still, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he still has majority ownership.
Right.
He's just not gonna be actually running it.
There's been a bunch of like interesting articles on the left saying that the next person coming in, she's a woman. I don't remember what network she's from. But they're saying like, oh, he's putting her on a glass cliff where there's like a history of men running things and then basically creating problems and then making a woman CEO so that she can fail, like just setting her up to fail. And I'm like, okay, but isn't that kind of a anti-feminist argument because you're saying she's not competent enough to fix it? Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
need a man to
crazy.
fix it?
That's
true,
crazy.
yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, doesn't that kind of mean you have like no faith in her ability to fix things?
I guess they're saying like, oh, men are intentionally setting her up, but like, does it matter if you put a man in there? You're intentionally setting them up to fail. So like,
Dude, that's like entrapment if that's what's happening.
yeah,
That's a crazy claim though.
yeah.
That is a crazy claim to make. Well, and I don't know. We were talking about this. Like, I don't think that was an official endorsement of DeSantis from Elon, but I think it might as well have been.
Right.
If you were there during the campaign launch on your platform, that kind of feels like an endorsement, which doesn't seem like a great thing for anybody.
Yeah.
Like-
And I've been paying less and less attention to Elon as he's gotten like more political on Twitter. Like, sorry, dude, I didn't really ever care about your politics.
Yeah.
Like, I just like SpaceX, Tesla, that kind of stuff.
You like the rocket ships.
I like the big rocket
You
ships.
didn't wear the hoodie too.
I know, I
The
didn't wear the
SpaceX hoodie.
Occupy Mars hoodie.
No.
So no one's actually ever seen you in it because the last episode you were on is audio only. So no one's ever actually seen
That's right.
the Occupy Mars hoodie. This is so sad. Well, next time
Stay
you come on,
tuned.
you'll have to wear it. Yeah, you'll have to. No, what was I gonna say? Shoot. You just like, as Trump put it, the driverless cars that crash and the rocket ships to nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That is still one of my favorite Trump. Well, I'm gonna call it a tweet. It
I've
was on
heard-
Truth Social, but it's still.
I forgot that he said that.
It was
Because he's always been a big Elon fan anyways,
was.
right?
And then for some reason they started beefing. Like, I don't know what
I
happened.
don't know. I think he's just trolling and just like having a
It
laugh.
might be. Driverless cars. It was like electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, and rocket ships to nowhere. That shit is so good. I wish he would have been on like air saying that. I wish I could have hear him say that in person because that would be one of the best sound bites for Trump.
I
Could've
feel
put
like
that
I
on
know
soundboard.
how Trump would say everything now, though. You know, like he
Yeah.
just has a way of
Saying
speaking.
things. He does, yeah. And then we're gonna get all the AI deep fakes from the
Oh.
primary. It's gonna be so
I'm
good.
already loving the AI deep.
The AI deep fakes are great.
Like the president's ranking video games and stuff like that on
Oh,
the
yeah.
tier list.
Dude,
Those are so good.
They did like a Lunchables tier list. They did they did a rap albums tier list.
yeah, I think we watched that one together.
I watched one where they were playing Minecraft and Barack Obama. No, it was Barack Obama, Ben Shapiro, and Trump blew up the White House before Biden could get
Oh,
on
wait,
the
I
server.
saw
They
that
filled it
one.
with TNT and they blew it up.
Yeah.
I saw this one a bit ago that was Who was it? It was Biden, Trump, and George Bush and Obama. Or in a smash or pass tier list of Pokemon.
Oh no! Oh no! I saw one where they were like playing Uno with JFK, and then as soon as George Bush walked over, they all like had to hide the game because they didn't want him to play with them. So they like always fuck with Bush.
And it's only going to be better by the time the debates are coming around and stuff. Yes. I mean, there'll probably be whole debates out there that aren't.
Oh,
real,
that's going to be so
Well, there already was the one that I showed you guys where it's like, where they're calling each other like the meme references.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you are the
yeah.
tiny Wojak and I am the buff Jojak. And it's like, you don't even know what they're saying. It doesn't make any sense. But those ones are funny too.
But whoever's out there doing these deep fakes, they're doing God's work.
They
as
are
far
doing
as
God's
I'm
work.
concerned.
They're heroes. They are heroes. They're national treasures, and they need to be protected at
Yeah.
all costs.
And I'm sure that like half of them at least are also on 4chan saying some crazy stuff that you get canceled for.
You think the 4chan people are making the deep fakes?
Probably, right?
I think it's just shit posters.
You
Probably.
it
I
could
think
be
it's just
that.
shit
Yeah, it
posters
could
that are just there to just get a couple of they're good. I can't even get mad at it. But they're probably just doing it to. I mean, I'm sure some of them are maybe 4chan.
But you're probably
people.
right. It's the shit post.
But it's got to be shit posters. Like,
Yeah.
where do you even go to make those?
to make
Is that like an
deep
is that
fakes?
like an open AI program? Like,
No, I think
how do
that
they
people
even...
are like doing their encoding for this stuff.
I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that's like widely.
Or do they just have like GPT just make them like, oh, what would Trump and Biden say to each other like this?
They might
and then
have
they
like the
just get,
scripts.
yeah, and then they just get a voice to read it.
Yeah, right. But I like at least the algorithm that's taking their voices and creating the new words and stuff is they're
Coded-
encoding,
wow.
to my understanding. Yeah.
Maybe so. It's the nerd shit posters.
Yeah, right.
It's the
right.
techie shit posters.
No, that's the
that are
thing. Like
doing
these people who are shitposting, they're really fucking smart.
it. they're good at writing code.
Yeah,
They are. Wow, what a time to be alive.
I know, right? I say
What a
that
time
all
to
the
be alive. We're gonna have Trump and DeSantis. I feel like Trump's just gonna start laying haymakers, though.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, what he always is, he always just like he just destroys people that are on the stage.
What's he
with
gonna
him.
say to DeSantis?
I don't know. He's gonna call him some stupid name
The sanctimonious.
and just be
Yeah,
like,
right.
"My numbers were better than yours. Nobody
Yeah.
can run Florida. Imagine if I was running Florida."
Did you
No one
guys see
can
that
Florida like I do.
DeSantis' Wikipedia page was like meme dorn right after he announced he was renamed to Ron DeSanctimonious on Wikipedia?
no.
Page. I'm sure that it's fixed by now, but
Those
yeah,
are
like
the-
right after his announcement, someone did that.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god.
Anyone can edit those pages,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I think it actually tracks the history of like when edits were made and everything as well.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
So maybe that person got banned from editing stuff from Wikipedia. I don't know.
Why would you though? Just I feel like you gotta let it happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
you
'cause
could
it's
also probably
funny.
just create more emails, right?
Oh,
if
yeah.
you really wanted to have.
I mean,
a
if you really
blast.
want
Yeah.
to, yeah.
But
Unless-
they'll also lock the page. Like if it's been edited too many times and then they had to change it back, they'll lock a page so you can't edit it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There we go. There's
Did
a
it-
little bit of protection then.
Didn't Lex have the person of Wikipedia on a while ago, like the president of Wikipedia?
I don't know.
I think it was Lex that had him on.
Someone
and they
edit-
talked about all like the safety mechanisms that they have in place.
Someone edited his Wikipedia page. Like some Lex hater, like went through his Wikipedia page and like changed a bunch of shit.
Bro, who's out here hating on Lex Friedman?
Some
I
of-
saw a hit piece on him recently that was like they they took the worst parts out of context. They were like, he said he might talk to Hitler on his podcast, and it's like you clearly like don't listen to all his episodes,
Right.
understand the philosophy, but they were just like he's highlighting dangerous people, and I was like, you could say that about almost any podcaster. Like you're just hating on independent
Yeah.
media at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that was like whenever he had David Pakman on his show, David Pakman's audience was hating on him for not being progressive enough.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was essentially the argument. They're like, he's not very up to date on the world of progressive politics. I was unimpressed. That was like what I saw. I was like, all right, this is whack. Did you like even look at what his show is about?
Well, we were also talking about this the other day. I feel like Lex is probably fairly liberal, right? In reality, he's probably centrist, but I bet he has some pretty liberal liberal things, liberal ideas.
Maybe.
Like, I bet he's like a fan of like healthcare and that kind of stuff.
Maybe.
I'll just go and just destroy the conservatives here now.
It's probably a mix though, because he came from the Soviet Union.
That's
He
true.
grew up like dirt poor in the Soviet Union, then he came to America.
That's
So
true.
there's probably some appreciation for like law and order and like free
Right.
speech and that kind of thing, which is like more libertarian or conservative values.
Yeah, like Michael Malice.
yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. That is
Well-
a time I'm glad a time and place that I never had to live through. I'm glad I never had to deal with that. Because
Yeah.
I recently read Malice's newest book, right? The White Pill, and he just talks about how bad it was in the Soviet Union. Dude, sucked.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then I feel like our generation, like we just love to. I do feel like progressives love to just overlook the Soviet Union. They're just like,
Totally.
it was just a thing. It happened.
Yeah.
Ah.
And Malice talked about that a lot too, about how like people have just always been like sympathizers with like socialists or communists. But he basically also said like, at this point we have so much available information to us about like how badly it went that there's really no excuse for it.
Yeah. But then again, I'm sure that there's some example of that on the right that they just kind of like to ignore.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
No, I mean, like I consider myself a socialist a lot of the time, but in like a very different way than like state socialism, I think. Like I think that the workplace should be democratized to some extent. Like I forget who quoted this, but democracy in the public can't exist with authoritarianism in the workplace, I think is somewhere around where the quote is. So, yeah, because, I mean, in the workplace, you just have one boss, right, who's overseeing everything. So it is authoritarian.
To some extent, yeah.
To a large extent. I
Yeah.
think, especially in, like, big companies or organizations where you have, like, a CEO. Yeah, I mean, you have, like, a board and stuff like that, which helps it. But, yeah, I mean, the average worker, when they get, like, no say, no burger flipper at McDonald's gets any say over what the company does, even if they've been doing that for 20 years.
So Jeffrey Bezos is a fascist.
Basically, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Your Amazon account just got flagged for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gone. You're not gonna be able to order anything anymore.
But I know Richard Wolff talks about that stuff a lot. I don't know if you guys know who he is. But yeah, just like the democratization of the workplace. That's like a form of socialism that I think I understand. Like giving people a vote in where they work a bit more.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
could-
like kind
I
of where
could.
unions lead towards as well.
Yeah, I could sort of get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't go all the way though. Full like state socialism.
Yeah, there's
I
like a
just
big
don't-
jump between those.
Yeah, I don't think that shit works.
Yeah, it hasn't, some of the
hasn't-
biggest famines in human history.
It hasn't proven to work yet.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, that wasn't real socialism. Like that's the one thing they love throwing out there. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't really like yeah, it was. I think it might have been.
I mean, I think there's an infinite number of ways you could try to do a system. Like capitalism hasn't always worked the best when we need it to as well. Although I think it's worked better than socialism when people have tried. But
Yeah.
like today, I mean, I think there are regulations in our capitalist economy that we're missing. Like
Yeah,
we
I
need
would
to be
think
able
so.
to factor those in. So like that's a failure of capitalism. Like this might not be the type of capitalism that I want that we have today, for example. Even though it's not killing millions of people like outright, but yeah.
No.
I mean, that's arguable. It's not killing millions of people in the U.S., but with like sweatshops and such. I mean,
Well, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, it's just in different places. It's
Yeah.
just like outsourced.
And I might even
Sounds-
argue that it is with like fossil fuels
Yeah.
and air pollution, right? Like killing that many people, but that's fine.
Yeah.
that's fine.
But like we don't have to
That's
go into all
messed
that.
up.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's messed up. Well, they need to probably regulate AI a little bit. That's probably a regulation in our economy that we don't.
Yeah,
that we
exactly. Department of Technology. Let's go.
Needs something like that. It needs to because then we don't have senators at the TikTok hearing calling it Tic Tac.
Yeah,
in
they
front
don't
of
know
the
what they're
Tic-
talking
They don't know what
about
the
at all.
fuck they're talking about. The one guy was trying to ask the one guy. I don't remember. It was a senator. I remember what his name was, but he was talking to the CEO, and I think the question that he wanted to ask, like he didn't even know how to ask the question.
Mhm.
He said, "Okay, so if I have TikTok on my phone, will it access
my Wi-Fi. And the CEO was like, well, yeah, we have to get into your router to use the network for the platform to function. And I think the senator was trying to ask if they were going to get his personal data through the router. But he didn't know how to. So he asked it 3 times. He was like, no, but is it going to get into my Wi-Fi? And it's like 3 times in a row. And he was like, sitting like, you fucking moron. Like, the guy just didn't know how to ask the question.
It's crazy because, like, imagine trying to get these people to, I don't know, like, approve a design of like a nuclear reactor or something. Like, they don't understand what they're talking about at all, and that's why we have like the Department of Energy to like help them do that.
Yeah.
That's why like the president appoints someone who's like an expert in this to head those departments. We need something similar with like AI and that kind of stuff,
And social media, too.
and social media probably as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you guys follow the Twitter files much? I didn't follow it at all, but
I followed
wanna
it a
know what
little.
happened.
I followed it a little bit.
So what
for
was like the
a
big
day and a half.
what was the big reveal? I guess.
The big reveal, I think, was that was the amount of money that the Democratic Party paid Twitter, or like Democrats paid Twitter to censor information. But the Trump administration did it too. Just not nearly as much money. Yeah.
But politicians were paying Twitter to censor stuff.
From what I understand, yes, that's what we're looking at.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good for democracy.
No, it's not. And people tried to say it was like a non-issue because Trump did it too, which I can understand the argument. Like, if you thought that it was only the left doing it, you find out that Trump did it too, then you kind of have to drop the criticism of the left doing it. But I think it's still a problem.
No, that just doubles the problem.
Yeah, I
right?
would say
Yeah.
probably that the fact that everyone can do it.
Were they like proportionally though? Were they pretty close? Do you know? Like, did the Democrats provide way more funding than?
Oh yeah, it was like
Yeah.
way more.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said though it was just a natural side effect of they were like politicians were requesting to people at Twitter, and it's just that they have more people who align with the Democratic Party at Twitter. So like in theory, it would have been relatively even if Republicans worked in the tech space at Twitter.
Okay.
Which
Kind of the theory.
Yeah, and I read like when I read Tim Urban's most recent book, he talked about like the number breakdown of political donations, and I think at Twitter it was like in 2020 97.8% of the funding or donations went to Democrats.
Wow.
So and that's the same at like Netflix and like all these big corporations. It's like they're giving almost all of the political donations are going to Democrats.
Dude, tech bros love Democrats.
Tech bros do. Yeah, they do. I
guess. I guess, yeah.
I don't know why, really, for what particular reason.
Do you think that people who are more liberal are just more likely to donate as well? Do you think there's any difference there? I'm not sure.
No, DeSantis didn't DeSantis raise like $8.2 million just 24 hours after like announcing his presidential candidacy? He already raised like $8 million.
Damn.
So I don't think they're less willing to donate. I think it was just because there are so many progressive people in those places. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's what I liked about Bernie's campaign, because so much of it was like grassroots funding.
Yeah.
I definitely had an appreciation for that. Instead of the corporations stealing your vote.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess that does probably happen sometimes. Maybe. I don't even know.
Now I'm curious. I want to ask my CEO because he's a tech bro and he used to work for the Republican Party. So I'd be curious to know like if he has an opinion on why the tech space is so left leaning. I guess it's inherently art toward like innovation and progress, whereas conservatism is more like we like to stay traditional and not move things too fast. And kind of the whole point of tech is moving things fast and shaking things up. So maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
But like they don't seem inherently in conflict.
I think it just like spoke more to a progressive individual to go work in the tech space.
Yeah.
I've just been under the impression that it's always been a very liberal or progressive leaning like industry.
Well, also, yeah, like where it came out of, right? Like Silicon Valley is just like a very progressive area anyways, right? Like in that part of the country.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. I mean, it is now, but it didn't like have to be in the
Right,
beginning of the
yeah.
internet. So
Dang. Tech bros love Democrats apparently.
Apparently.
I don't know. Are there any tech bros that are not?
Well, I mean,
my CEO.
yeah, right.
Yeah, Allside CEO is.
Oh man, I'm gonna mess up his name.
Vivek.
Rameshwanki.
I think it was Rangaswamy is what I don't know. I don't
would
know.
need to look at his name.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
I would have to look at it.
What is it?
He's running for president under the Republican Party, and he's a biotech entrepreneur. So he's probably a tech
Vivek
bro.
Ramaswamy?
Yeah, Ramaswamy.
Yeah, this guy? Oh, this guy's he's a tech dude? And this
Yeah,
guy's running for
I think
president?
biotech is his background.
Yeah.
Oh,
I listened to
Okay.
him speak for like a couple hours. I wasn't blown away, but I would vote for him over Trump probably. But I would need to learn more.
Yeah.
isn't like Peter Thiel also a tech guy that's like conservative?
Yeah, I don't know if you consider PayPal tech. I think that's
Oh,
all-
maybe not then. Different guy. Okay. Yeah, I guess a lot. I know like Zuckerberg is like a progressive. Well, he's a robot though.
I
He
feel
was
like we're
programmed to be that
missing a
way.
big one here, which is Elon Musk.
Yeah, well, I guess he's a tech bro now, but he wasn't originally.
He got rich off of PayPal, right?
Yeah.
That was like he kind of invented PayPal and then sold it, and then it was renamed to PayPal, I think.
Yeah, it was
so he's
called
always
something
been like a
else.
tech kind of person. He started coding, was like how he got rich, I guess.
It seemed like he wasn't always conservative though. I think he's
I
kind of
agree.
become so
He's
over the
become
last
more
like
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah,
He got really political.
and I'm not sure why that is.
I don't know why.
I think like maybe he's just always had like the same political views, which is fine. You know, I don't really care about that, but maybe he started voicing it just because the power's gone to his head recently. You know, like when you're the richest person on the planet for a year or whatever.
Yeah. I think that definitely amplifies it, the fact that he's super rich, but I think it's also just like 10 years ago, political junkies cared about politics and no one else cared. But like now, the culture war has consumed everything to the point where everything's political. If you have opinions on pretty much anything, like it's a political
Yeah,
opinion.
that's
So
true.
everyone's a little bit involved.
I also think that, well, I think it's maybe the same thing that happened to Jordan Peterson. Like, I think that Elon was originally, from what I understand, he was like originally more on the progressive side of things, but I think he just got misrepresented so much and the left like didn't like billionaires so much that they like pushed him away. I think it's happened with Jordan Peterson too. I think Jordan Peterson, like, he used to be super based. He used to be like a bridge builder dude.
Yeah.
And then the left just like misrepresented him for so long, like calling him all these crazy names and just pushed him away.
And what's the representative from Hawaii? What's her name?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. Same thing with her, right?
Yeah, she got really conservative over the last like year.
Yeah.
And
I
she was
liked
not.
her a lot during like the 2020 race. I mean, I
Yeah.
think she was saying good stuff out there.
And then she was like at CPAC like this year or last year. Was that last year? It hasn't happened yet. She was like there. She was like Trump was there and so was she. And she was like on the stage speaking.
Jeez.
Like that's a big switch.
Yeah, she was like saying good stuff, and then she was like, I'm an independent, I'm leaving the Democrats, and I was like, go. And then she was like, they're mutilating children and all these like just basic conservative talking points. And I was like, I thought you were better than that.
Yes.
Like we liked you because you were saying something different, and now you just seem like any conservative.
Yeah, there was like
Yeah.
some switch somewhere where she just, I don't know, started saying way more kind of out there stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, and there's like no, I feel like there was no goodwill towards like where she came from like at all. It just like she flipped and then
Right. But during like
Yeah.
the 2020 race, I mean, she had a lot of like bridge building kind of sense.
yeah,
in
she
it.
was cool.
Like, hey, we need to be able to work together with the Republicans to like work out our issues, basically.
Yeah, I think she had a lot of support from moderate conservatives from what I heard like in the
Probably.
comments section. They're like, "Oh, I'm like Republican, but I'd vote for her. She's cool."
Yeah.
Same thing with Yang and then like
Yeah, right.
that was. But
I think it's good. She had a lot of foreign policy experience, and I feel like people that have like diplomacy and foreign policy experience are usually more like bridge builders because they have to work with people they don't like China and Russia, just to like get things done by nature of the job. So that's usually a good sign, I think.
is Trump the ultimate bridge builder for going over to North Korea and talking to Kim Jong Un? This is a genuine question that I have.
You know, kind of,
Is he
right?
the-
I mean,
he the-
technically,
Is he the ultimate
kind of.
bridge builder for doing that?
like I think I've made clear, I'm not a big Trump fan, but him meeting with North Korea was one thing that I was very supportive of. I thought that was one of the best things he's done.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can. I mean, we're doing this to Russia right now. I don't think you can ostracize a country like that completely and expect the problem to get better. Like, I think the problem
No.
gets better the more you kind of like open your arms to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in China, for example, I mean, they've gone steadily, slightly less authoritarian over the years as we've become more interconnected. And I feel like that trend hopefully will continue. But same with the Soviet Union. Like once, what was it, Glasnost? Once that kind of opened up and people started to actually talk about what was happening in the Soviet Union, it didn't last very long after that because they're like, oh yeah, it was fucked back then.
Yeah. Well, he gave Kim Jong-un a record of Rocket Man by Elton John. And he peeled off the sticker that said made in Taiwan and gave it to him.
I love that.
Dude, funniest president.
This guy cracks me up. He cracks me up that he gave me a record of
I
the
didn't
Rocket.
know that. Do you think that Kim Jong-un like got the joke at any point?
I don't know.
Or do you think that all of his like subordinates were too scared to explain it to him?
I kind of hope that's the case. I hope he still has it on his desk.
It's like in a frame somewhere behind his desk.
Oh my god. Yeah, when he said that, I was dying laughing. I was like, "There's no way this guy
Bro, that's crazy.
gave him
That's pretty good.
a copy of Rocket
Pretty
Man."
good.
He is the funniest president.
I think so.
He has to be.
And I think Obama was the most presidential president. You know, like well-spoken and articulate.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I don't remember any other presidents other than those two.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, but I mean, compared to the two that I know, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Compared to those two,
We're just
Yeah.
forgetting Biden exists.
huh?
We're just forgetting Biden exists. There's three. Three that you know.
Well, listen,
That-
he's not either. He's
That-
not
that-
well spoken or
that is
funny.
true.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
He's like,
He just exists.
he's funny in like a sad way.
I think it's just
Yeah.
sad is what you're looking for, actually.
Probably, yeah. But like when he shakes hands with a ghost, that's kind of funny to me. But that's also sad. Like when he walks into a bush, when he gets off the plane and just walks into a bush on the White House lawn, that's funny. But that's also sad. Like this is not.
Biden is like the epitome of just the feeling of when you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, in like politics. That's
Right.
that's what he's displaying.
So I'm saying I don't think that he'll make it through a debate with Trump. I just can't. I mean, hey, I didn't think he could last time, so maybe he can again. But it's been 4 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the guy's shaking hands with people that aren't even there.
Yeah. Dude, what if they tried to put Kamala up?
She would lose
I don't
so
think she'd make
fast.
it.
Immediately. It would be the
Yeah.
quickest defeat
Yeah.
ever. Trump's polls would go up to like 75%.
What do you think her approval rating is?
Well, I think
20s maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be
I
low.
think at this point they just like don't let her out of the White House. From what I haven't seen her do anything recently.
She was. Didn't she recently visit? What university was it? They posted it on Bridge
Yeah.
USA.
Oh, San Jose.
Yeah.
yeah.
She was there
Yeah.
for I don't know what.
I don't know why she was there
Maybe
either.
just
I
to
just saw
visit.
the post and it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, we met Kamala Harris. I
Yeah, I
was just like,
saw
oh,
that.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't Biden put her in charge of handling AI?
The only thing I knew she was in charge of is I thought she was supposed to take care of the border, and that's
Yeah.
a mess. So
Oh, that's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit didn't happen.
yeah.
Didn't
Don't
she
know
go
what she's doing.
visit it and then she was like, "There is no crisis" or whatever? And it's like, dude, we all seen the footage. Like,
Dude.
there's something's going on
Something's
down there.
wrong.
I bet
down
like her
here.
plane landed and she looked out the window and she's like, nope,
Oh.
seems fine out
Yep,
here.
it's fine. I was at the border. See?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
She went there on Google Earth. It's fine, guys. I don't see anything.
I
wrong
don't see
here.
anybody trying to climb walls or fences or anything. Whatever happened to the wall, huh? So did that like just never come to fruition?
I think it was partially built.
It was
I
partially,
think it was
though,
partially.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how like many miles of it was or anything.
I don't know.
But I feel like that should be talked about more, right? With Trump, like he said, that was like his big thing in 2016. I mean, we're gonna build the wall.
Right.
And we're gonna make Mexico pay for
And
it.
we're gonna make Mexico pay for it. That's one of the wackiest things he's ever
Dude,
said,
that's.
too.
who said it? I forget who it was, but someone was like, "This guy just has the most like 4-year-old solutions to problems. Like, we're just gonna build a wall, and you're gonna pay for it."
Yeah, right.
And that's it.
That's so funny.
Dude.
I mean, like building a wall, nuking a tornado, or it was a hurricane, or it was some
It was a
tropical. It was
hurricane.
some tropical storm, and he was like, "We could just blow it up."
I want to know, like, where that thought even came from. You think he was stoned or something?
No, Trump doesn't do drugs at all.
I know Trump
Never does
There's no
drugs.
way he does drugs.
It's so funny. Rogan was like, I would have. Rogan's like, I don't want to have Trump on my show because I don't want to help him. He was like, it'd be tough to have a conversation with him because he doesn't do any drugs. You can't get him high. You can't get him drunk. You can't get him to like open up at all. He was like, you can give Alex Jones a blunt and get him high, and then he'll just go.
Right.
Trump won't because Trump doesn't do any drugs.
Trump's just always revved up. You know, he's ready to go at any time.
He's high on life.
Do you think
Yeah.
do you think they put him on something? Do you think they juice him up with some sort of pharmaceutical to get him going, or is he just
I feel like
always?
they probably juice up a lot of the presidents, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
the old. Really
See, I
old
feel like a lot with
politicians.
Trump, it's probably like a little bit. Yeah, they probably do something with him, but also I think some of that is just his personality.
He
to
might
it.
just be like that.
I think it's just like a little mix of both. I think.
I could see him taking like extra testosterone or something.
He's on TRT.
Yeah. I think Rogan takes testosterone, right?
He does, yeah.
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 I could definitely see him like recommending it to Trump. You know, like if they're meeting in the back room of some like comedy bit or something.
You ever done DMT?
Yeah. This is some good shit here.
Yeah. Give him
Dude.
one of those. Give him some mushrooms.
Yeah, can you
Just give him
imagine what
something.
Trump would do if he was tripping? And he'd probably hit the big red button, right?
Or he might just like be the same somehow. I don't know. I feel like it would either be that he would press the red button or it wouldn't be anything too crazy.
Maybe he would realize that Jesus is a liberal.
Oh my god. Imagine what the bass would do to him if he was like, listen, I tripped balls. Jesus, he was a very liberal guy. That's all right. Very liberal guy.
You do that so well.
I know.
God.
But Trump is so easy to impersonate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy. It's really not hard to do. I had a mean Bernie impression back in like 2017 when he was still around, and I'd lost it. I can't do it
Oh,
anymore.
Make it sound like he died when he was still around.
Yeah, well, I mean he is, but he's not gonna run again. There's no way he runs again.
Bernie deserved better.
He did.
Yeah, they screwed him over twice.
Yeah.
I just don't get why he let himself get screwed over the second time.
If he was the nominee for the Democrats in 2020, I think he would have won.
Against
That's my
Trump,
hot take. We'll never know.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't. Unfortunately not. No, they didn't like him. They just didn't let him. They never let him get anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Sucks.
It's the establishment, dude. It's the
It's the deep state.
deep state. Yeah.
Tim Dillon, but Tim Dillon was like, Trump talks about the deep state. He just wants a deeper state. He wants to run the deep state. That's the point. He's just gonna make a deeper state. That's the whole point.
Imagine
Point of the
Bernie
bit.
and Trump collabing or in a rant about the deep state. I'd love to see that.
Someone put up a Twitter post about that. Like, what if these two ran together and it was like a Trump Bernie ticket?
That's crazy.
Honestly, that would kind of work because they both focus on economic policy a lot. Like Bernie is obviously a democratic socialist, but like he focuses on class a lot. And Trump kind of did that too, like appealing to the middle class. Because it's funny, he like runs out of the big house of like famous people deep state and says they're doing exactly what you think they're doing, and then he runs back in the house.
Right.
and people like love that. They're like, he's confirming everything we thought. And then he goes back in the house. Like, he's still the billionaire that, like, bankrupted 2 businesses. Like, we just ignore that.
Yeah. I think he just said what people... I don't think he cares about anybody other than himself.
Yeah.
And he just said shit that people wanted to hear. I mean, it's probably true. Some of it's probably true. But it doesn't matter. He just said it anyway. Like, he just probably ramped it up a little bit. I kind of believe that shit's real.
I'm kind of, I just don't know. And that's kind of where I'm staying at. Like, I just don't
That's
have enough
alright.
information to make an opinion on it, I feel like.
Oh, I don't...
Which is why I like Bill Gates more than you.
I'm not saying that I have, like... I'm not saying that I have concrete proof, but I feel like when you have intelligence agencies that have been in DC for so long and these people aren't elected and they have that much power, that like 'cause I remember like whenever Obama went to visit Putin was like, I've been through 3 presidents now, and none of them do anything because of the men in the dark suits in the room. He said that, so I'm thinking like that's probably And there was some guy wrote a book about that. Some guy that was in the CIA was like, they would just walk into the Oval Office and essentially say like, Mr. President, you don't want a terrorist attack on your watch,
Right.
and if you don't want that, you'd better do this.
Right.
And it's like, well, now that's people that are essentially controlling the president.
Yeah. And I definitely believe that there probably is corruption and, malfeasance. I'm just not sure what level it's at, kind of.
Oh, yeah. That fair enough. Yeah,
like the
that part's true.
military-industrial complex, definitely believe that that's like a real influence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
What is it? $800 billion a year in the military?
That's crazy.
Now?
I am okay with having a military. Like I think having a strong military is not a bad thing. But $800 billion worth of
Was it more than the
that.
next 20 countries combined?
Something like that.
Now, to be fair though, we also provide protection for those 20 countries that are before us.
We do,
so,
right? But when we're like when we have double the military budget of whatever China. I mean, I'd like to know what China's is, but I think it's about double. And they have 1.4 billion people. I mean, like I forget who said this, but I read this recently too. The U.S. basically, turned into a war economy in World War II and then never transitioned out of a war economy. Like we just kept producing and producing military weapons.
Yeah. Seems like that's how it is.
Yeah.
Because we got to send our $400,000 plane missiles somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, if the alternative was we didn't spend so much and the world got nuked, obviously I'd choose the spending, but I don't think that's like a real trade-off. Like I don't think that's probably a real question at all.
Yeah, I think that's like the whole like Middle East conflict we were in.
Yeah.
Pretty much showed a lot of people that we just did it to make money
Right.
and to send the weapons somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's people's concerns with the Ukraine situation is like we're essentially funding a proxy war with another country.
Yeah.
And there are companies in this country that stand to make a lot of money off of us sending our weapons there.
It's definitely
through NATO.
a proxy war.
Yeah, we're like, and at what point are we now fighting a war with Russia?
Right.
Like, where is the line?
Right.
Because it feels like we kind of already are. We've sanctioned them. We pushed them away from the world economy.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're sending weapons to the... And I'm not saying that, like, I want Ukraine to get taken over. I don't. But...
Right. But there have been reports that we're, like, providing kind of, like, strategic advice and information. And we're training soldiers for them as well.
Yeah, so it's... And no one's talking about, like, peace talks. There's no no way for Russia to save face and get out of there.
Right.
So then... What is this going to be, 20 years?
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to destroy Ukraine and kill all those people?
It
for
may
what?
turn into, like, a long war of attrition, which is the types of wars where the most people die, which is not great.
When they've even said that, like, we're anticipating another 5 to 6 years. And I'm like, you're just anticipating that. No one's going to try to...
And when you're talking 5 to 6 years, that means you're basically just waiting for, like, Putin to die, right?
Yeah.
Like getting sick or something.
You're, like, waiting for a coup to happen and for him to
Yeah.
get overthrown. You're waiting for something.
Yeah.
You're not just going to try to... That's the part that concerns me, is not giving them a way out. Like, no
Right.
one has a way out anymore.
Right, I agree.
Because if Putin's out is leaving Russia and leaving Ukraine in defeat, having lost all those soldiers, that's not a situation that he's going to be satisfied with.
Right. I agree. But I also think you do need to just, like, hold your line at some point, just like, hey, we're not going to let you cross.
Yeah,
this line.
sure, fair. Yeah, I can agree with that.
But I'm not a military expert, so I don't know where is the appropriate place to draw that line.
I wouldn't try to. I wouldn't try to draw the line either. But I feel like
And
you have to have
Ukraine's
the
line is
conversation.
going to be different than ours. That's why they're trying to draw us more into the war. Obviously, if I was Ukraine, I'd be trying to draw the U.S. into the war as much as possible too. But
Yeah, we're not in a great spot between funding Ukraine, about to default on our debt because apparently we have trillions of dollars and we just don't know where they are or can't rearrange them. And then we might end up getting in another proxy war over Taiwan because there's a giant hurricane that's like in one of the top 10 or 20 worst in history, headed for Taiwan. And so the fight is going to be who gives them aid. If a giant hurricane hits Taiwan, then do we help them because we're allies? Or does China? China's going to want to help them because it's their colony and they're a lot closer. Makes sense for them to help. But if China sets up military in Taiwan, like that's the gateway for an invasion.
I can't see Taiwan letting them set up military.
Well, but if they
assets
need
in there,
aid,
right?
they need to rebuild. Like they're a tiny 1 mile island. They have to accept aid from someone probably.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fight probably between us and China of who's going to send the aid. And we're not sitting great financially. Like we probably still would try and send aid, but we got to one up China on that one.
Ugh. Yep. Yep. And Joseph in the Oval Office leading us.
It's crazy how much sway over like international politics Taiwan has for just such a small place.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a lot of people for being such a small island. How big is it, right? It's bigger than a mile, but it's not very big.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a maybe 4.5 miles. Or
I think you
something.
can
It's
see it
small.
from space still. But I don't know what that means, honestly.
Yeah, like how big is that?
We could just Google it, you know? We could find out.
I mean, and it doesn't really matter, but like they just have so much power over like the semiconductor industry and stuff like that, like really important things for the globe. So I mean, they're just doing a good job, I guess, on their part, you know, like technologically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great. No wonder why a generation is anxiety ridden and depressed all the time.
Dude, best time to be alive. That's all I'm saying.
It's about 14,000 square miles long.
14,000 square feet?
Miles.
14,000 square miles.
Taiwan is.
Okay, well, I was way off. I don't know why I was thinking 4 miles.
So that's,
Close enough.
but that's still a pretty small island.
No, yeah, it's not huge.
That's still tiny.
Right. Can you look up what its population is? I don't know. It's probably like in the tens of millions, I'm sure.
Is it a really like, is it a
I
densely
think
populated?
it's like super dense.
About 24 million.
24
24
million
million.
people. It's
Oh,
a lot
wow.
of people.
That is a lot of people. Wow. I didn't know about this hurricane that was about to hit them. That's not good.
No, it's definitely not.
Jeez. Well, I can't wait for that to hit social media.
Can I ask like a slightly different question?
Sure.
Related to islands and hurricanes. Puerto Rico, right, got like slammed by Maria a few years ago, I think it was. I think that Puerto Rico should be a U.S. state. Does anybody else have any hot takes on this?
Puerto Rico. We love Puerto
That was when Trump went down and he like threw towels at them, right?
He did like a fadeaway. He was
Yeah.
like shooting baskets at them. We love Puerto Rico.
Was
We
it
love it.
was it just paper towels? Was that what he was throwing at the audience after a hurricane?
I think there needs to be a sound effect for
Can,
that.
can we get that one on there?
Please do.
Puerto Rico. We love it. Why did he say it like that? Oh my God. I don't know. Should it become a U.S. state?
I mean, why do we still have territories? Like, how is that an idea that's not extinct from like this earth yet?
I don't know.
You know, like why do we have territories still?
I think because we have military bases there.
Right. And like
That's
I
the
know
point.
like Guam is basically half a military base. Like half the island's just all military. But I don't know, like Puerto Rico, I mean do we really need that for military? It's so close.
I mean, like, what would be the benefits, though, if Puerto Rico does become a state? Like, what exactly would that benefit for us, other than just it's another state?
To me, it's less about the benefits and more about what's right. Like, what's the right thing to do? Like, I think they should be able to vote on it. Like, I mean, maybe they want to be a territory. You know, I find that unlikely. But
What are
if
the
that's what they want to do, then that's fine. But I feel like it should be up to them to vote if they want to be independent or a U.S. state.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like it was a military base. Like, didn't we make that a military base a long time ago, like in like the 1800s?
I mean, I'm probably. you
Because
know,
back
I mean,
then
I'm sure
the world
that
was a
they're-
lot bigger. Like we
Yeah.
couldn't just get military aid over there in
Right.
an hour like we can now. I'd imagine we can get planes over there quick.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are bases there, but like it's way, way closer than Hawaii is.
That's true.
You know, and Hawaii's so far away. Hawaii's like halfway across the Pacific.
But then how does the flag, where do you put the 51st star? Because it looks real nice. It looks real nice right now.
It does look real nice right now, and that's not my problem to deal with.
I think here's what we do. You just accelerate climate change until Hawaii goes underwater, and then you replace Hawaii with Puerto Rico.
Dude, that's what
I
wouldn't
wonder
Puerto
if
Rico
Florida
also
would be underwater
Smart.
before Hawaii.
go.
But like all of Florida, because like there'd be a little bit that's like the part that's attached to Alabama and Georgia that like,
Right.
I wouldn't think that.
But Hawaii's also like a volcano. It's pretty tall at some point.
That's true, but I think some of their islands have been disappearing, but then new ones reappear because it's
Probably, yeah.
volcanoes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Definitely like the Big Island, though. I don't think that's going away anytime soon.
Why don't we get Tulsi Gabbard on the pod to be our expert in
Our Hawaii expert.
You know what we could
Tell
do?
us
We
all about
could
Hawaii.
nuke Hawaii
Dude, now
and
this
just
guy's got
reduce
ideas.
its elevation steadily
Yeah.
till it goes into the ocean.
There we go. You could just throw a big rock in the water and just like wash it over.
Yeah, that seems good. That's a good idea.
And then you have okay, so wait a second. Why don't we just combine the Dakotas? That seems like an easier option. Just make them one
Yeah.
Dakota, and then you can just make Puerto Rico that
Yeah.
50th
Or
star.
like Rhode Island and Vermont. Or
We could just get rid of Rhode
Yeah.
Island, probably. We could just cut it off and just push it into the ocean.
Or like Texas or California just becomes independent. Texas can finally secede.
Yeah, they've been saying that for years. They're not going anywhere.
How much would that like mess up politics if either Texas or California left, right? Like all of like our representatives would sway so hard to
Yeah.
one side after that, right? When they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, I do.
And all the Californians leave and go to the red states and turn them into blue states. You just go fuck it up. It's like,
Or if California left, then maybe we'd get some real freedom in this country finally.
this is all California. It's single-handedly holding back everything.
Yeah,
It's
that's
California. That's the answer to all of our
Just
problems.
cut it off.
Yep.
I feel like Northern California is fine though. You could probably just cut off like
right. But like the part that's gonna fall into the ocean at some point anyways, just let it go now.
yeah, we could
That's
just
it. Like
start,
San Francisco,
we
LA.
could just nuke it to start the process.
Yeah.
What is with you and nuking everything?
he brought up nuking.
Dude, let's send him
Hawaii.
to Mars.
Oh god.
We could put California on
Mars.
Mars.
Logic has left.
The terrain's pretty similar, I think.
the
Right?
terrain's
Desert?
similar. The temperature isn't though.
No, not at all.
They'll
That's
get
gonna
used
take
to it.
Isn't that gonna take a really long time
What?
to warm up Mars?
Yeah.
Like a really long time?
I mean, it depends how you want to do it, you know. But yeah, like hundreds of years at the very least. At the quickest, hundreds of years. And it might not last forever as well. Like Mars is so cold for a reason. It'll go back to that state kind of naturally. So you have to kind of keep it warm.
So we need global warming on Mars.
That's exactly what we need, yeah.
We need just a lot of carbon dioxide.
It's funny to me that people think that Mars is hot because it's like red, and I guess you just, and I guess because of that, and it's sandy, right? So it's like red sandy. So people just kind of assume that it's like a desert, but it's like freezing. It's so cold.
Why isn't it? It's red. Why isn't it warm?
Just,
like, what are you looking at through an infrared?
I'm not
camera?
putting words in people's mouths, but I think like this is a pretty common thing that
That's,
people think
that's
it's warm.
hilarious.
I don't think people from sunny California are gonna enjoy that very much.
No, they won't. No.
They might get used to it. You never
Yeah, they'll
know.
get used
I'll be
to
like,
it. They'll
welcome
be
to the
fine.
Midwest. Buy a winter coat. Like,
Yeah,
Right. Like
luck.
actually, we should be sending like Inuit people up there. right?
Canadians got to go.
The
up there.
Canadians, yeah.
'Cause
And
they're
so
nice enough.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, they're nice enough to deal with it.
Yeah, they'll get along with each other fine.
Yeah, we would tear each other to shreds.
For sure.
If we sent Americans should not be the first people to colonize Mars.
No.
They'll like bring our guns and it'll just be a real big problem.
I agree.
You
don't-
got to send Canadians.
I don't know. Canadians are nicer, but we would like shoot each other and have tribes. They just be like, we'll have a nice assisted suicide program. It's too cold for you here. Have you thought about dying?
Jeez.
But we need some hard survivors.
Right.
We need Jocko Willink
We need Jocko.
and Joe Rogan to go
Yeah.
colonize Mars.
Right.
What
exactly.
happened to this conversation?
know.
What is happening?
I don't
right
know what
now?
happened.
I think Jocko should run for president.
That I would vote for him. That's somebody I would
Dude,
vote
that's. I don't even know if he's conservative at all, but he could be, right?
All of the cool people wouldn't run for president just because the job, like, just only attracts maniacs.
Yeah, agreed.
It only attracts psychos. To think that you're the person that should be the most powerful person in the world.
Mhm.
That sounds like me. That was a Jerry Seinfeld, but he was like, the most powerful man in the world that has access to all the nukes in the world economy. Kind of sounds like me. It was like the bit. Nobody would do it. I would never. It's insane.
It's an impossible job.
Yeah, no
right?
one's-
How can you expect one person to be able to know everything to run 330 million people's lives?
Yeah, and to have access to the most powerful military
Yeah,
on the
it's
planet
crazy.
and all the nukes and like, it's impossible to be good at that job. I
This
do
is
think
why
it's impossible.
we need an oligarchy.
Don't we already kind of have one a little bit, sort of?
Kind of. My hot take is that we should be So you elect the president, and they pick the heads of each of these like major departments. I think we should just be directly electing the heads of these departments, and the president would just be the head of the military that we elect.
Huh?
I'm not mad at that idea.
I'm
That's
not either,
interesting.
actually.
It would require like a lot of reworking because the president has so much sway over other stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
including all these other departments. But yeah, I mean, it would be like an oligarchy essentially.
And also, election day gets a lot more complicated because now all these people have to campaign. You have to give all of them
Right.
a primary of some sort.
The
They all
problem
have
to me is just people being able to get enough information about
each
whoever.
person to make a
Right.
decision. That would
And
be the tough
also,
part.
I don't want to politicize
like energy,
like the
and-
Department of Energy or
Right.
like the FDA or something like that. You know?
Right.
So there's that concern as well.
Yeah, that would be kind of tough.
But it does move us just a little bit closer to a direct democracy, which I'm in favor of because I think that's kind of like the end goal, right? Maybe we're not like smart enough or capable to do it right now, but
The AI
in-
overlords will.
the AI overlords
us.
might be able to. Yeah.
They will do. They will lead
will
us
help
to the
us.
promised land.
Right. But like in theory, I feel like that's probably like the direction that's better to move towards instead of more centralization, you know, like more authoritarian,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just a thought.
Yeah. We might never get there. Or we might.
Do you think the world's I think the world is either going to end this century or we're never going to die. That's kind of my other hot take.
It's
you know,
one
like,
or two.
yeah.
One or the other.
Like if we can survive the next 80 years without nuking ourselves, I think we'll probably never nuke ourselves.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's a very bold claim.
That
Well,
is.
We might not nuke ourselves, but I don't know, there are other problems like the population collapse and stuff.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
feel
there's
like that
right.
could
There's
happen.
population collapse. There's like AI.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of people who talk about existential risks are really worried about, like, human-made pandemics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's all those concerns. But we were again talking about this just the other day. Like as a society, our technology is advancing way faster than we can adjust to it. I think we'll need to have figured out that problem by the end of this century,
Yeah.
or we're not going to make it. So, and if we can figure out that problem, I think we can probably solve most things that we face in the future then.
Fair
As,
enough.
Yeah.
as long as we can learn how to adjust quicker, assumably.
It feels like if you can solve the AI problem, you can probably solve all of the other problems.
Yeah, right. I agree with that.
That would help you fix everything.
Yeah, if you can like create a true like artificial general intelligence that's like well aligned with what you're trying to do, then
Then it could
Yeah.
probably solve the climate change thing, and it could probably fix.
yeah, I mean it
All
could
of that
it could
stuff.
have like crazy implications and everything.
Yeah. It could get us to another galaxy.
Yeah, I mean it's probably going to be like as big of a jump as like electricity was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is wild to think of, right? You know, it may be even exponentially more than that for all we know.
Yeah, I would
If
say
it's
probably.
smarter than us, then
Yeah, that part's scary though.
yeah.
It's gonna need to be smarter than us to fix all the problems, but I don't want it to be smarter than us.
Yeah, that's that's a problem of alignment, right? I know like
Yeah.
Lex talks about this a lot, but just like making sure that it's okay if it's smarter than us as long as it has the same end goals in mind,
Yeah, if you can give it ethics and stuff like that,
Right.
then we'll be okay.
right? Which I think may be easier to do than we think.
Also,
Like if it's intelligent, I think it'll probably have some sort of ethical framework.
who gets to control that? Does every country just have their own super brain?
I mean, good question. Maybe.
Or like, does NATO have one? Or
I mean, what about the point where it's so easy to create AI that any kid in their basement can create like an artificial intelligence that's smarter than them? You know?
then I think, oh, that's tough.
Like it if you're thinking like 100 years in the future, it's going to be so easy to create things that are smarter than us that everyone will be able to, you know, like the concern about creating pandemics right now, like engineered viruses,
Mm-hmm.
because that technology, like with CRISPR and that kind of stuff, is becoming so widely available that it's becoming easy to create a virus in your basement. So, you know, what like there's a
Joy.
reason that we made
Yeah.
regulations
Great.
so we
Happy
can't create
days.
nukes in our basements.
Yay!
Yeah, right. Best time to be alive in human history by far.
100%.
By far.
I mean, it is, but we'll see. We'll see in 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it is until everyone dies, right?
I guess, yeah. Jeez, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Okay, I thought this was falling apart on me. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think it's going to be
alive in
okay.
human
I think it's
history.
going to be okay.
Yeah, I think we've got to be optimistic. Otherwise, it's going to be real bad.
Yeah. I mean, we've made it this far since like 1945, you know, and there was the whole Cold War. We got through that. All right, you know, unscathed.
Is this essentially the Cold War II that we're in right now?
I don't see why not.
Isn't it pretty much just the same thing?
Yeah,
Did we ever leave the Cold War in the first place?
I think that's a good question.
Did it ever really end?
It may have had a break.
There was just like a ceasefire type thing.
Yeah, like a chill for a bit.
It kind of feels like 9/11 was probably the point whenever it ramped up again. Did you bonk your head on the mic?
No, I like went like that.
Oh, I thought you bonked
Yeah.
your head on
No.
the mic. Oops.
Yeah, it might be 9/11. I'm not
I
sure.
feel like 9/11 was probably the moment that like picked it up again whenever we went over to Afghanistan and over to the Middle East.
Mhm.
Okay. We have 25 minutes left on our SD card. And then what can we do? Do we have to wrap in 25 minutes then?
That camera's at 35 minutes on the battery.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll have to wrap here in like
Okay,
25
that's
minutes
fine.
then. That's okay. Dang. No 3-hour podcast.
That's all right.
We've still never done one of those.
That's all right.
Maybe one day we'll do it. At the Bridge Summit we'll do one after we're all like so sleep deprived for like 24 hours, then we'll do a 3-hour.
I'll make sure
guys
to stay
have
up for 3
fun.
days.
You're not going to go?
Probably. I mean, I'll be graduated then, unless I do the alumni program, which I'm still
Yeah,
considering.
did the alumni ever get to go, or is that not really a thing?
If you get the premium membership, you get like an invite to come.
Yeah, you get an invite, and then I think you get like a certain like reduction in price. I think.
Well, are you going to get a premium membership or what, dude?
I'm gonna talk to Haley. I'm thinking about it. So I may be there, but for right now, I will not be there.
That would be cool if you were there.
Get to go
that would be
harass my
really cool.
children.
No,
Great.
no. Like, if you didn't get the premium membership, if you could be like, well, I'm still, because all their senior stuff happens like in the spring, and so I don't know if you could be like, well, I mean, I graduated early, but like I haven't walked and stuff.
Yeah, like
if
I
you're
still
done.
technically am in college in a sense. Like,
But you did walk, right? Just a semester early?
I'm not gonna walk in the fall. I'm gonna wait till the spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then you might be able to go.
Still, like, regardless.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
I'll have to
Lie to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
lie.
I
After
mean-
we already
What's the
I mean, this is recorded now that I'm gonna be lying, and if somebody happens to see this, I can't really say that now.
When dude's
So.
gonna be like, my 3 favorite bridge chapters coming together. Let's listen to this, and he's gonna be like,
What the fuck is this conversation? What the fuck is this?
Skip to the last part. Hear what they said.
And now they're all saying they're gonna lie.
What's the
No.
premium membership though? I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
It's there's like 3 different tiers. So like if you want to do the alumni program, I think like the first tier it's like free, where it's pretty much that if your chapter has like any meetings or anything, you're like allowed to like go back and attend any of like the meetings. So kind of like pretty much what you're doing now, but like after you graduate.
Okay.
The second is that on top of, I think they give you like a gift basket or something. And then the third is where they give you all of that. And then after you get to go to the Bridge Summit, like with them.
Okay.
Dude, the
Yeah.
Bridge USA goodie basket
Dude.
with the tier 2 membership. It's so funny. What do
the
they
bridge
put?
drip.
What is in a Bridge USA goodie bag?
I know they have like I think it's office stuff, so they have like a mug probably.
Like I think like a T-shirt or something.
yeah,
or, like,
I know they put a mouse pad in there, and I'm like, who uses mouse pads anymore?
I'll
I'd
take a
use a
mouse
mouse
pad.
I mean, I would.
Okay.
Take, I'd take
I
it.
don't.
I would
It's
take
like
it.
when you go into your new office, bring all your bridge stuff, and it's like I work from home, man.
Like I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Do you use your laptop when you work from home?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Yeah. I use a desktop.
Yeah.
so you have a mouse pad.
So I have a
I mean,
mouse pad.
I have a USB plug-in mouse for my laptop.
That's what I
so
use.
would,
Well, yeah, I'll
would
do
use a
that.
mouse
I
pad.
use that too.
I might get a desktop if I still work from home when I graduate. Like, I want to have the ultimate home office that puts everyone to shame. Like 4 monitors, like you got the gaming chair, you got the standing desk.
The
like-
the curved monitors,
Right.
The super, so it's like all around you.
Working from home in style.
Crazy
Yeah.
setup.
This
yeah.
is not a joke. I knew a guy in my last job who his home setup was crazy. He had 8 monitors, if I remember correctly, and they were around him. So he had like
How did he get in?
he had a desk that was basically a circle except an entrance at like one end of it. So he would walk in and then be fully surrounded by monitors. And some of them were double stacked like on top of each other.
Have you guys
So he would
watched-
have one here and one there.
Have you guys watched The Office?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, like
It's like Dwight with his
Dwight's-
mega desk. He got
Oh,
security,
yeah.
gaming, and surveillance. Like, what does he got all around him? He's like running a show in the background.
What
He's, like,
exactly did he need 8 monitors for? Like, what did he use
I'm-
them for, or just for?
I mean, I think
'cause.
there is no need for
It's just
that.
extra.
right?
Okay.
He just like
He
to
just
have
add
it.
extra. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was
I
doing
mean, you
multiple
can definitely
things.
justify like 2-3 monitors. I think.
Yeah.
You may be able to justify 4 monitors.
That would be tough, though.
That'd be
I
tough.
don't know.
Justifying 5 is wild.
But he had, I think it was like 8 to 10, if I remember.
Oh my god.
It was like a lot. It was ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember like he would use one would be like just a constant live feed of like, I don't know, one of his security cameras in his house, I guess, but he was working from home anyways, so I didn't get it. Another was like a Bitcoin. That's like always going.
You know what'd be hilarious? Is if he was in a Zoom meeting and he used every monitor. The camera, a 360 of his head in the meeting. Can you imagine how funny that would be if you had the 360 Zoom setup?
That's so good.
That'd be good.
That's definitely I need that.
He really had Bitcoin on one of the monitors. He had his crypto.
Yeah, no, it was like it was
Crypto wallet.
Coinbase, I think is what it was. Like his Coinbase wallet was
He had his
one of them.
Coinbase wallet up there. He had
Yeah.
security cameras. Was he
That's-
gaming at all? Was he gaming?
Yeah,
on
yeah,
one of them?
he was a big gamer, and he also made like, I guess like digital art. Like he made character models and stuff.
Like NFTs.
Okay.
no, not NFTs. Like 3D models that you could like put into a game, like for mods.
Oh,
and
okay.
Stuff. Like
Like, was he a
okay.
game developer?
yeah, but like just
For him, like
for
on his own.
himself. Yeah,
Gotcha.
just
Okay.
for like his own stuff that he would do. So like when he wasn't working, because when you're working from home, you only work half the time. So when he wasn't doing that, I guess he would just like go to another monitor and just like work
Just
on that stuff.
Nice.
turn around to one of his other 9 of 10 monitors and just like
And I assume
Go
he
for
had
it.
like 3 different monitors for just like Google searches or something like that.
Can you imagine if only one of those monitors was for work and he had 9 other ones for other shit?
I think
was it
2
all-
of them were probably for.
Was it all through one PC?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because how could you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
I
way
feel like
too
the
much.
PC would just die.
that would be really tough.
You'd have to have
Like at least like
3.
Like, yeah,
I feel
like
like,
3 or
I don't.
4.
I don't think that it
Or-
couldn't have been the one PC.
it couldn't have. There's no way.
no.
And
He
it
had to
wouldn't
have more than
surprise me if
2.
he had more than one PC if he has this many monitors.
Yeah,
as well, right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
How many
You're so far
keyboards?
in.
How many keyboards did he have?
dude, I don't know. I mean,
10 in a circle. It's literally just a different setup for every single one.
Jeez. That's
like if I go
crazy.
far enough back in our messages, maybe I can find the picture that he had sent me a long time about it, but I don't know if it's still there. But I
Well, you
would
can
love
just
to-
click on the top. You can just click on like the settings for the message. You can just look through all the pictures. You don't have to scroll back. You can just
Okay,
you can
well
look through
then, yeah.
just the
Yeah.
pictures that he sent you and maybe
we,
try
we
to
need an
find it.
updated report
Yeah,
after this.
okay.
'cause
Yeah, we
need
gotta
to
But
see-
I can't remember if he like sent me a picture or if I saw it through his monitor at work when we were.
Oh.
That's
okay.
the thing. I can't remember how I saw it.
I really would run the 360 zoom setup. I would just have every camera.
Okay.
That would
Yeah.
not surprise
I'd
me.
have a
personally.
dash cam thing, or what are they called? Like just a little like on every one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just run all of them in the Zoom meeting at the same time. That would be so funny if someone did that. Or you do. I love when people did. Well, during the pandemic, when there was the court hearing and the judge had the cat filter on his face.
I saw that.
Dude,
I know what you're talking
So
about.
good. He's like, sorry, judge, I'm trying to get my assistant's trying to remove this, and he was a cat. And then people always did like the custom backgrounds. I saw a guy did a custom background. It was a video, and the video was himself putting coffee on his desk.
Yeah.
So mid Zoom meeting, he would open his own door and deliver himself coffee.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Fire. That'd be so. I considered doing something like that. I never did.
That'd
I
be
just had the
cool.
Minecraft background going.
Yeah,
When I was in Zoom.
See, I'd have the one with the palm trees in the back, but you know,
That would-
I'm a little bit biased about
Well, yeah,
palm
because you
trees.
do you have a palm tree in your apartment yet?
No, not yet. I want to get one so bad.
Caitlin's moving to Florida. Caitlin's gonna leave
That's
the second
inevitable.
she can.
I'm
Yeah.
leaving and I'll come back
She's-
just
she's
to
a-
only see you guys.
she's a-
But if all of you guys leave from here, I'm never coming
She's
back.
abandoning Pittsburgh. You're never gonna have Turner's tea again. How does that feel?
I've never even
What?
tried it.
What?
I don't
This
know
is
what that
messed up. I'm gonna get some Turner's tea later so y'all can try it. You haven't had Turner's tea?
Let me guess. It's tea.
Gavin, shut off the cameras. We're
No,
done.
it's
here.
coffee, actually.
We're done.
Oh.
Here.
It's coffee,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's iced tea. It's good iced tea,
Okay.
and they have chalky milk too. I've never had their, and I have their chalky milk. It's okay.
Is there Turkey Hill out here?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, we have Turkey Hill.
I
here.
like Turkey
Yeah.
Hill iced tea. I'm a
Never
fiend
had
for
it.
actually. It gives you.
A
It gives
fiend.
you.
He's a fiend for it.
It gives you kidney stones though, so you have to be careful.
What?
That might be a complete myth for all I
No,
know.
I think
actually.
it is. If you drink too much, if you drink like too much iced tea, is one of the things that can give you kidney.
Yeah,
stones.
people say that.
I thought that I had one last semester. I woke up one morning and I had like a really bad pain, like right here in my back. That every time I breathed in, it was so painful. And I went to the nurse and she was like, "It might be a kidney stone, maybe." I was like, "Oh, good."
Dude,
Thanks.
that's one thing I never want.
At 20 years old.
Yeah.
But then then it was fine like the next day. So I don't know what the heck it was.
Mm.
But it was bad. It was real bad for like about a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Warning.
But I drank a lot of iced tea. Like I've consumed a lot of iced tea.
Dude,
so
maybe it was a kidney stone. Your body dealt with it.
that would be great if that was the case. And I hope I never get one again because it sucked.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Mm.
Well, I don't remember anything what we talked about.
That's fine.
I don't remember a single thing
We'll
Iced
talk about it
tea.
through the day.
of what we discussed. Yeah. How much time do we have left on there? Let's see. 13 minutes. We'll probably just wrap this up. Yep. Thanks for. What are we gonna name this? We have to figure out a fun name for this.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Jesus was a liberal.
No, Carson wanted to create like a recurring name.
Yeah, I wanted a
Oh,
recurring name for
recurring.
all of these. Yeah.
Uh,
I wanted a fun name. Not to put any, but we'll figure it out later. But or maybe see now we have to because I said it. Shit. Cut that out. Cut it out. So if we can't think of anything, no one is disappointed.
find out
Yeah.
in the next episode of what this actually is.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna call it. But you need to try to get to the bridge summit because then we can do another one of these there.
Got it.
You've got to try.
Oh, I
do it.
will. I want to. That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right.
We should do it in Austin.
We're saying that as if we know that the bridge summit is gonna be in Austin.
I was
That'd be
thinking
cool.
that
As
it
if
might
we
be
know.
out west because so far they've done DC and Florida, and that's pretty long for all their California chapters to fly and stuff.
I feel like it's our turn
So
to
I
make the
thought
journey.
they might, since they've done Northeast and South, they might do like West Coast or Midwest.
Or like Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland will be next.
I
I hope not.
Cleveland kind of scares me.
God, I hope not
What?
Cleveland.
Because like traveling would be like
Yeah, we could just drive. That'd be cool if we could just drive.
I'm sorry,
and
but
not
I
have to
wouldn't go to
fly.
Cleveland. I'm sorry. Hell no. You couldn't pay me enough money to go to Cleveland. No thanks.
Even if it's to go with us to the bridge. summit,
I
would
love you
go?
guys, but I can see yins when you come back. No thanks.
Wow.
Sorry. Not it.
Wow.
Where is Texas? Is that mid South?
I would call it just South.
I just say south.
South.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mid South isn't really a thing.
Yeah.
It's just the
Yeah.
Midwest.
I'm thinking too deep into it.
Yeah. No, Texas is just south. I mean, it'd be cool if it was in Texas. And that would
cool.
not be, that would honestly be like, I think we would maybe have to travel a little bit farther than they would.
Yeah, I think so.
For the California chapters.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
might be it.
Texas is about, if you don't have a layover, it's like a 4 to 5 hour flight from here.
Yikes.
Ish, about.
Isn't it crazy that the guys from Oregon had a 5-hour flight to Orlando, but we would have a 5-hour flight to Texas?
Yeah,
It feels like they're way farther away
I know.
from
it's
Florida than
weird.
we are from Texas, but maybe not. My sense of scale for how big the country is way off.
I feel like they must be farther from Florida than we are from Texas.
They have to be.
They have to be.
Orlando to
Yeah.
Because I knew there was one girl at the summit that I talked to from California, and she said for her it's about like 6 to 7 hour flight from
Jesus.
California to Orlando. So,
7-hour flight?
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
I hope we
Carsen-
don't have a 7-hour flight to
my
wherever
Let's
it
hope for
is.
Texas.
my girlfriend was just in Japan, and
Oh,
that?
her
wow.
whole flight time there was a layover in it, but she had 18 hours on her whole thing.
Wait, doesn't Pitt have where they can do study abroad for like a few months in the summer? Is that the Japan program? Did she do that?
She's
or-
not at Pitt.
Oh, she's not.
Yeah, she's not in college actually.
But that's what-
Oh,
but that's what
okay. I thought you guys went. Okay, I'm sorry.
But
That's
that's what
okay.
Jack is doing. Isn't Jack's going over to Italy?
Jack is in
Israel.
Israel right now.
He's in Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's not related to Pitt. I don't actually know if it's related to Bridge or something like that, but it's
Oh.
I think it's called Perspectives is like the name of the trip, and they went to Israel and then Palestine, and they're like
Whoa.
talking to people from all the sides.
That's cool.
That's
That's
really
neat.
cool.
How long is he there for?
That's
I don't
dope.
know that many details about it, but he's been there already for a couple weeks. So
Holy cow.
yeah,
Jeez.
Wow. He never came on this show. I told him we were going to do it, and then I texted him. He didn't respond to me.
yeah,
He'll come back.
He never responded.
We'll have time.
yeah. I did see a picture of him holding a mortar that never went off, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, what a
What a place to be.
Yeah.
best time to be alive in human history.
That's just Jeremiah's
That's the
slogan.
recurring name.
That's what we're naming it. Best
Yeah.
time to be alive in
I
human
think that's it.
history.
Yeah.
That's the name.
There we go.
I just have to keep beating that drum, you know.
We need to get that printed for you on a T-shirt so you can.
I
just
would
wear
Best
it.
love
time to be
that.
alive in human history.
I would love that so much. And
Jeremiah 2023.
if it was like a sweatshirt, and that's what the front said, and then the back was just a list of bullet point facts,
Jesus.
I'd fucking love
Oh,
that.
that's your next sub. That's got to be your next Substack article.
It's the best time.
Best time to be alive in human history, and just go
No,
off.
I think I'm just gonna incorporate it subtly into all of my articles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that I can like subconsciously turn people's opinions.
Slowly start shifting public opinion with the Substack.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. All right, we got to wrap up here. Jeremiah, we'll see you in the fall, sir. We will see you for. Where can everybody find you? Shout out all your stuff, everything you got.
Find me on my Instagram,
Yes.
Jeremiah_Cutright.
Yes.
And you can find all of my other stuff there. You can find my book. You can find my Substack. All the goodies from there.
Claire, where can the people find you?
Don't. I wish not to be perceived.
I wish not to be. Oh.
I mean,
allsidesnews.com.
yeah, there you go.
Allsidesnews.com.
That's
it.
not, it's not allsidesnews.com. It's just allsides.com. Get it right.
What? I thought
You're about to be
no.
employed there, and you don't
Carsen,
even know the website.
boo.
That's bad. They might just redact the offer. They may be like, we can't hire this kid.
Yeah.
Can't have you anymore. You're banished.
Oh no. That's so sad. Caitlin, where can the people find you? And all your stuff.
Honestly, I have an Instagram. I don't even remember what the username for it even
That's
is.
hilarious.
So yeah, you guys can also find my stuff on tribtotalmedia.com. I posted stuff there. So yeah, read my articles, please.
Cool. All right. Thank you all so much for doing this.
No problem.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
See ya.
Adios.